Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So today we're going to discuss guitar electronics, at least in the Strat style, okay? This plate and unit is out of a Academy electric guitar, which is a Strat copy. And my son picked this up yesterday at the Hawk Shop. He actually got it for a really good deal. He walked out of there with the guitar for 30 bucks in tax. Sweet deal. They have a few more guitars there that even I want to go after. But I want to go after them to restore them and then flip them later, you know, make some profit on them. So anyway, when we plugged it in when we got it home, we didn't try it out at the store. I figured, you know what, kid, for 30 bucks, if we can get it for that much, even the 40 that they want, it's a good deal. We can fix this thing. You can polish a turd. Okay, he's decided to join the guitar players race of electric guitarists. He does play acoustic, and we did buy him a brand new acoustic for Christmas, and since buying that for him, he's been playing the daylights out of it, and he's really super improved. So obviously it is proof. If you got a good playable guitar, you're going to want to learn, and you're going to learn really well and really easy, because you're going to apply yourself more. So he's doing a wonderful job, and I'm proud of him. Great. And great that he's taken an interest in doing something like this. And you know, he's like me. You start out cheap and work your way up. And this thing's a bit of a turd, but we've been working on it since last night when we got it. And that will be a show and tell video for another day. We ordered in a whack load of new hardware for this thing. Pickup covers, new pickup, all new screws, and we're changing the color patterns on things. Custom control knobs, switch buttons being replaced. But anyway, so when we plugged it in when we got it home, we got nothing out of this thing. And I'm like, okay, there's no way you blow 3 pickups. Doesn't happen. There's no way you blow a pot that easy, you know. So I turned up the amp and I'm playing with the dial. And it's like, well, there's something that's trying, you know, but you hit the strings and still nothing. It's like, oh man, I really hope we didn't get a lemon. But the thing has been abused, this guitar. You know, I mean, overall, I mean, the neck's in good shape, you know, stuff like that. And being even a cheap guitar, it has really rough edges on the frets. And now I've already fixed all that up, and now they're smooth as glass. Okay, really nice now. Nice maple neck on it, rosewood fingerboard. So I'm cleaning all that up, and we've removed all the varathane off the neck too, because we want a fast plain neck. But I'm also re-protecting the wood with a natural stain that's also oil-based, so it'll allow the neck to stay slippery. Because I like a slippery neck, and he does too. He doesn't like to have his hands jammed up when they sweat. And necks with varathane tend to slow you down and jam you up. So anyway, so we're doing that. I changed a little bit of the profile of the neck to make it a little bit nicer. So the neck turned out really wonderful so far. Anyhow, with the electronics, you can get like a bad grounding issue sound. Single pickup coils are notorious for having some noise in them, and over humbuckers. And like humbuckers are like dead quiet. And so even with my Strat that I'm picking up, I've been playing with it off and on for the last, couple months at the music store, and just playing on it. And I'm trying to buy a new guitar, and I finally settled on the Strat because it's going to suit my purpose for all my pedal reviews that I do with my humbucker guitar. And so anyhow, continuing on, there's a reason why you're getting a long story here. When I plug the Strat into a line 6 amp, and I've tried it on 2 line 6 amps, you get that nasty noise on a couple switch positions. And so all the guy tells me is, well, single coils are known for this. And I'm like, yeah, but my humbucker is dead quiet. Like, I was playing on a Les Paul in the store with the same damn amps and not a peep. So I'm like, this really made it hard to decide on the Strat. So we finally plugged the Strat into a Roland Cube amp. Same amp cord, same pedal hooked up to it, because I'm testing pedals too while I'm playing on these things, because I'm always looking for new pedals. Not a peep out of the guitar in any switch position. So apparently that Strat prefers a Roland amp. It doesn't like the other ones. So hopefully it likes a Marshall amp or even a Fender Mustang amp, because I might end up having to go to a Mustang, because the Marshall I was investigating, turns out it's a bass guitar only amp, which sucks because it's such a nice looking amp. And I can't afford a Vox amp right now, so that's the way it goes. So anyway, so not a peep out of the Strat with the Roland amp. So I might even stick with a Roland, who knows. So being that this thing was DOA, it made us a little nervous. So, of course, to take this plate off is a pain in the neck, and we had to pull the strings just to get it out of there, which was fine, no big deal. And as soon as we moved it, it jumped to life. It's like, ooh, ping, ping, ping. Yep, test each pickup. Every switch position, everything's good. And not even a peep out of it, which was kind of nice. So none of that staticky noise type of thing. So that was all good. Tone controls, checked them all out. They're all good. So at least we know all of our hardware is good. It just looks like crap because I don't even know what the hell is on these. But we're not even bothering to fix up the pick guard or the covers to put them back on the guitar. And we did have to buy all those screws because some of them were rusty. But getting on with the back end, this is what our key center focus of the video is here. I don't care if it's a cheap piece of crap guitar or if it's a $50 million guitar, okay? Electronics are electronics, and people can do, and so can machines, crap solder jobs. Now, generally, these things are done by hand, from my understanding. So, whoever did this soldering job really kiboshed up in the switch area because it has some bad connections. Now, even though right now it's not interfering, you know, I started to look at this plate last night and I'm like, okay, so what have we got here? Now, I know you guys aren't even going to be able to see this no matter how much I zoom it in, so I'm just going to explain it, and it saves me, you know, unzooming and going, oh, sorry about that, you missed that. This has got a cracked joint on the connection. This is barely holding, and it's hollowed out. It's not even complete. This one here is no better, and it's barely holding on at all, but it's there. Okay, so we've got 3 connections, but I'm going to fix all of them, all right? If I'm in here now, I don't want to be in here again. It was either the yellow wire that goes to hook up to the bridge, or it was the jack wire. We're not sure which one had to be moved or budged, but it came back to life. But I'm going to be replacing the yellow wire. I'm going to be replacing with actually a heavier gauge wire too. I'm also going to be replacing the jack wire with a new wire. Okay, also a heavier gauge. The caps are all good. The pots seem to all be good. The connections, I'm going to redo all the connections on all of these anyways. While you're in, you might as well redo the stuff, right? I'm going to do a wiggle test as I fix these wires and see if there's any of these that are going to cause any kind of problem, because it could have been even one of these wires for the pickups, you know, that's crappy. And so we're going to test all that out, and when I pull the pickups and pull the covers, I'm going to check the connections on each pickup, and if I think that they don't look right to me, they're going to get repaired as well to make sure everything is perfect for when we slap this stuff back into the guitar. And one of the things too, if you're concerned about your pickup order, you can actually label them when you're messing with these things inside. And we're going to go neck, mid, bridge. Okay, now in order, we have volume, tone, and tone on the front. Okay, so if you want to know which one is which, V, T, M for middle, and T, E for end. Okay, you have to write down your own abbreviations however you do it to know which is which. The switch doesn't make a damn difference. But also photograph everything too when you're inside, especially if you're taking a lot of wires out of place, you know, or just rewire one wire at a time, which is actually simpler. But check your connections because, you know, whether you got a cheap guitar or an expensive guitar, if you've got noise that shouldn't normally be there or isn't there with another guitar but is with, say, another one you've got noise on, it could be you've got a bad connection somewhere in the switch. It could be a pot connection that's bad. It's not too often pots go bad, but I mean, a brand new guitar should not have bad pots, okay? But you never know. But eliminate the other things first before you think about replacing your pots. Pickups, the wires could be bad connections. Even in an expensive guitar, they can still do crappy solder jobs of the wiring with the pickups. So, you know, just be aware of that, you know, and, you know, pull your pickup covers in the case of a Strat. These are just white covers. They pop off, and check your connections. And if you see that they may have a bad connection somewhere, you can resolder that. Now, the solder used in this machine is a high lead content based solder. Just by looking at it, I can tell the difference. So that's the kind of solder you also need is for electronics. And it's really super thin wired solder, and it has very high lead content. You don't want to be mixing up there with tin, because the tin solder is garbage. I don't like it in anything. And anything I do find it in, I tend to suck it out of there and replace it with proper lead solder, and way better performance that way. But anyways, that's just my opinion and my experience for what it counts, and you have your own. But yeah, so this is just a short video just to let you guys know what to look for and check out. So even if you're, you know, buying a cheap guitar, you know, even if it's a $200 guitar or even a $300 guitar, you know, and you seem to be having issues, it may be your amp doesn't like that guitar, which I found out with my Strat at Music City that I'm buying. It did not like the tube amps. It did not like the Line 6 amps that I tried it on, but it adored the Roland Cube 30 that I put it on, and it was quiet as a mouse in all switch positions. And that's a Strat, you know, which it kind of actually dumbfounded the guy, you know, and it actually kind of dumbfounded me a little bit too, you know, because these pickups do have a little bit of their own natural noise to them, where the humbuckers are quiet, right? There's a reason why they call them humbuckers, right? And that Strat was so quiet. So I know when I get it home and I throw it onto my Roland 15, it should technically, in theory, react the same way. Little to no noise at all, okay? No noise is actually better. You know, I don't like that noise, but hey, it makes me worried. But at least I know for sure now it's not the guitar, and that actually convinced me that it was okay to buy that guitar now, because I did finally test it on the Cube. Because the guy says, "What amp do you have at home?" I says, "I got a Cube XL15. Well, they didn't have a 15, but they had a 20 and they had a 30, and you know, and so we plugged her into the 30, and because I was there testing pedals that day too, not just playing with the guitar. I just put aside because I'm looking at other pedals, and turned out it shut right up on the Roland amp, and it was like same patch chords, you know, being used, and same pedal, and you know, even without a pedal, you know, we tried it. And even without a pedal, that Fender did not like those Line 6s, and it did not like the Fender tube amp, but it was quiet as a mouse on the Roland, and it's like, okay, I'm in, I'm sold, because it's a really nice guitar, very nice playing guitar. It's actually the Vibe 60 series, which is really nice guitar. I like it. You know, so, and I'm a picky bugger when it comes to my instruments. You know, I mean, I've been in and out of that store for the last several months looking at Les Pauls. I've been looking at a bunch of guitars anyways, including a Telecaster, because I can get the Telecaster for $20 cheaper, but the Telecaster is not going to solve my issue of why I not only want and require a Strat. So, you know, eventually I get the Tele, but I'm not going to go after that Tele because it has a pine body, and I don't like pine. It's a very weak wood in my opinion. Okay, and it just scares me to see pine even in a solid body guitar. It's just not a viable wood in my opinion. So anyway, but that's the scoop. That's how you check your electronics. You could still fix all this crap, and in the end, you may just have a bad switch, you know, and that can cause a lot of problems too, you know. But in this case, we had no sound at all. and it was either the yellow wire to the bridge or this one to the jack. One of them got moved. Something got moved, right? And so I still have further wire testing to do, and I may end up just rewiring the whole damn thing completely in the end. But either way, at least once it's done, it won't screw up again. You know, at least not until something fries other than wiring, you know what I mean? Anyways, guys, that's it. That's all. Let me know what you think. Feel free to leave your questions and comments. I'll do the best I can to answer them. And just as an FYI, I'm not the far most expert on guitars, but I do know them really, really well, you know, and I know the electronics pretty good too. So anyway, have fun, and we'll catch you on the next video.